Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome back to your Global Public School online classes. In the earlier class we studied about the Christianity and Islam part 1, in which I think we studied about how the earlier days of people before Christianity and Islam, and when it came into existence, and who's the founder of Christianity, where did he born, who's the parents, and what are the preachings of Christianity, right? So now in this class we are going to talk about the subcaste of Christianity and what is the contributions of Christianity, and then obviously about the Islam. So let's come back to our class, that is Christianity and Islam. So here is the contributions, or how did the spread of Christianity happen. I think we all studied in the earlier class, students, that Christianity, the Jesus Christ was helping the people who were in stress, who were having the depression, who were psychologically weak, correct? So he started helping the people, because of which people started calling him Messiah, the savior of the people, or the godly man, correct? So here, along with him, there was some 12 followers started joining him to help the people who are in stress, who are in depression, and who are psychologically weak. They are called as apostles. The 12 followers of the Jesus Christ who started helping and who started spreading Christianity across the world, they called as apostles. They actually called as apostles. So here let's see what is the contributions of Christianity. The Christianity has spread across the world not only because of their kindness, they have also done a lot of other good things apart from the helping the poor people or psychological helpings. See here, what are the good things which they have done is, Christianity has taught the noble principles to the people about the peace and the brotherhoodness of the world, and they have also established the lot of educational centers, churches, and the missionaries, which have played a very significant role in the growth of education. I think now also you can see that the Christianity has introduced a Gothic style in architecture. I think whenever you see the church, you can see their style of architecture is different from the Hindus, from the Muslims, right? So that style, we call that as Gothic style. I want you to remember this. The style of Christian architecture is Gothic style. Apart from this, the missionaries, Christians missionaries have extended their support in terms of the health services. They have also given a lot of good services across the world to take care of the people's health, and they have also provided the hand-to-hand support for the women and the weaker sections by providing some amount of money, by providing the necessity items, all that. So they have given the great importance, especially for the education and also for the empowerment of the people. So that is the great contributions which the Christianity has given. Apart from this, there is a two sects which is in Christianity. There is a two subcaste which is there in Christianity, that is Protestant and Catholic. You might be having a doubt, what ma'am, Christians means Christians only, right? No. See, Protestants and Catholics, there's a two subdivisions, or there is a two subcaste in the Christian religion, that is Protestant and Catholic. Who are Catholics and who are Protestants? Let's study that. So we all know that the Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, in the place of Jerusalem, which is there in Palestine, right? So who were ruling in Palestine? Romans, correct? So Christianity was actually under the control of Roman Catholics till 16th century, okay, where the higher people, the rich people used to control it, and the Christianity slowly went beyond the reach of common people, and principles of Jesus Christ. What happened is, slowly they took the rich people took the complete control over that. And later what happened here was, in the Germany, a lot of issues only started. The landlords, the rich people, they started exploiting the poor in terms of the religion by telling them this is what Jesus Christ is telling, all that. They started exploiting the people. But later in Germany, Martin Luther, he's a social reformer, this person came and they started the reformation movement in Germany. That's how the new caste in the Christianity came out as a Protestant, Catholics and Protestant. If I want to give you a simpler way of differentiating the Catholics and Protestants, is very simple, kids. I think you might have seen the Christians. Normally the Christians who will wear all the ornaments and everything, and you might have also seen some of the Christians who will not wear any jewelries or anything. So the people who will wear a jewelries or normal style, they are Catholics, and who will not wear any jewelries or all that, they are Protestants. Very simple. So let's get the more information. So here is a extra picture which is actually added for your information. This is the picture. This is the last picture of Jesus Christ before he was crucified by the Roman. Here is the information. This is the last lunch which he had along with his 12 followers before he was crucified in the Golgotha place. So let's come to the next topic, that is Islam. Okay, so beginning of what is the backstory of Islam, what happened in the earlier of Islam. So the beginning of Islam is actually originated in Arabia. Where exactly Islam is originated? Arabia. But where exactly Christianity was originated, kids? In Palestine, right? So here the Islam is actually originated in Arabia. Arabia is a peninsula of West Asia. So you can here also see what is the backstory of Arabia, how it was actually. Arabia basically a desert place. You know what do you mean by desert? Completely a mud place. And it's not suitable for agriculture. It's actually not suitable for agriculture. You can see the Rajasthan desert, right, where the water is not there, or it is not suitable for agriculture. The same, like a same place it is. The Arab migrated to fertile the lands. I mean, they started moving from one place to another to fertile the lands. So people started settling in one places where the water was available. Okay, so what happened is, Arabia is basically in Arabia the Islam was originated, but Arabia initially was a place, it was a desert place, and it is also a desert place now, and it's not suitable for agriculture. The Arab people started migrating from one place to another place where the land was actually fertilized, and the people settled in the place where the water was available. So such places were Mecca and Medina, where the people started settling, right? Such places were Mecca and Medina. So here also you can see some of the pictures where some of the two pictures which is of Mecca and Medina. In the beginning of earlier days, Arabs used to worship many objects of the nature, like Murti Puja, all that. Even in the Arab also, most of the people in the earlier days, they used to worship many objects of the nature. They used to worship stones, trees and streams as a god. In Mecca, the stone of Kaaba and other 360 idols used to be worshipped in the earlier days by the Arab people. And this was considered to be one of the most important religious place. And that Kaaba and the other places used to be considered as the most important religious place. I think now also you can see that Kaaba is a very precious place to the Muslims. So here is the founder of Islam. The founder of Islam is Muhammad Paigambar. Where did he born? He born in Mecca in the year 570 CE. CE is nothing but Common Era. who is the father of Muhammad Paigambar. Father is Abdullah and the mother is Amina. The wife of Muhammad Paigambar is Khadija. And Muhammad Paigambar had 6 kids, out of which 2 sons and 4 daughters. So the founder of Islam is Muhammad Paigambar. He was born in Mecca in the year 570 CE. His father is Abdullah and his mother is Amina, and his wife is Khadija. He had 6 kids, that is 2 sons and 4 daughters. How was his early life and what was he doing? When Muhammad traveled to different places for the textile business, he was impressed by the simplicity and monotheism of the Christianity and the Jewish religions. See, he was a business person. So he used to do the textile business. Who? Muhammad Paigambar. So he used to be visiting to the lot of places, and he got impressed by the simplicity and the monotheism of the Christianity and the Jewish religion. So later what happened is, he thought that this was better than the polytheism. Monotheism is different, polytheism is different. So polytheism was actually followed by the Arabs in the earlier days. So what happened is, he thought that their religion is far better than the polytheism of Arabs which they are following. So he started meditating. So what did Muhammad Paigambar do? He started meditating deeply for a long hours on Mount Hira. What he started doing, kids? He started meditating deeply for a long hours on Mount Hira to find the remedies, to find some solutions for the social and cultural shortcomings of the Arab people. So he started doing meditation. So after Paigambar achieved enlightenment, so he started getting some good thoughts and ideas when he was meditating. After Paigambar, when he was actually sitting under the meditation, he got some enlightenment. He was called as the messenger of the God by the people. Later what happened? Soon after, his principles became very popular among the people, and many people started becoming their followers, disciples. When he was in a deep meditation, he used to share his messages with his followers. See, what used to happen is, when he used to be doing a meditation, he used to get one or the other points as an enlightenment to him. So that points he used to be sharing with his disciples, with his followers. They were considered as the messages of the God by his followers. So that whatever the important points which he used to give, that used to be considered as the God messages. Later what happened is, the collection of all the messages which Muhammad Paigambar was giving, later it was written in one holy book. That book is what we call it as Quran. That holy book itself is what we call it as Quran. See, after that what happened is, the Islam, the Muhammad Paigambar started spreading Islam across the world. So later, here it is, later Paigambar started preaching his principles in Mecca. But you know that like earlier days, what happened for the Jesus Christ, the Palestine Roman people opposed him, right? The same way here also, the Muhammad Paigambar was getting opposition from the polytheism strongly, and they started trying to fight with him, and they started conspire to murder him during that time. So later what happened is, he tried to travel from that place to Medina. He traveled from Mecca to Medina when he became aware of this. So he got to know that the Mecca people are trying to kill him. So what he did is, he started traveling from that place to the another place. Okay, so that is in the year of 622 CE. We call that as 622 Common Era, and that incident is known as Hijrah. I think now also the Muslims reckon this period as Hijra, where the Islamic calendar is actually based on that. So traveling from Mecca to Medina, the people of Medina welcomed Muhammad Paigambar with a great honor, and they started following his principles. After the 8 years, see, normally what happened is in the 622 CE, the Muhammad Paigambar came from Mecca to Medina. The Medina people welcomed him. But after the 8 years, when he came to Medina, there was a big war happened in between the Mecca and Medina. The people of Medina defeated with the people of Mecca. Paigambar again came back to Mecca. So initially the Mecca people used to oppose him, but here after that the people of Mecca accepted his teachings, saying that what you are telling is correct. Then finally they also become the followers of this religion, and they also started propagating by Paigambar. Gradually his principles started spreading across the Arab region. And Muhammad Paigambar died in the 632 CE. Muhammad Paigambar died in the 632 CE. So here Islam is for Muslims. What do you mean by Islam? The Islam means the submission of oneself before the God. What do you mean by Islam, kids? Islam means the submission of oneself before the God. Muslim means the follower of God. What are the teachings? What is the teachings of Islam? What exactly it gives? Here is God is one. Islam says God is one. A simple prayer is enough. A simple prayer is enough to win the heart of the God. God is one, and a simple prayer is enough to win the heart of the God. The second thing is one should lead an honest life. One should lead an honest life and the principled life, and should keep away from all the bad habits. The third point is the one should respect the women and the poor, and they should try to help them. So these are the preachings of Islam, and these are the teachings of Islam. So Islam also has some of the rituals. What are the rituals? First is Kalima. It's a belief only in Allah. Muhammad is their prophet. Second is Namaz, prayer for Allah for 5 times a day. Third is Roza, where they will fast for a whole month, and the end of the fasting day they celebrate that day as a Ramzan. And the next ritual is Zakat. They will give some definite sum of amount in their income to the poor. And the last but not the least of their ritual is Hajj. It's a pilgrimage place where they will go to that place, pilgrimage place to Mecca once in lifetime. The next, how that expansion of Islam happened. So like Christianity, after the death of Jesus Christ, their apostles, they started spreading that religion across the world. The same way here, after the death of Muhammad Paigambar, the caliphs took over the responsibility of promoting the Islam. Caliphs are known as the successors of Paigambar, or the followers of Paigambar. With the sincere efforts, with a lot of efforts, with the sincere efforts, they spread from Spain to India within a century, within a short span of time. They spreaded this religion from Spain to India. And what is the reasons for a fast growth of Islam is because of the simplicity and the efforts of caliphs to spread Islam, and the devotion of Muslims, and the religious interest of sultans, and also because of the conducive political situation which was there in the earlier days. What are the contributions of Islam? Like Christianity, even Islam also not only helped the people who are poor or weak, it has also given the immortal contribution in terms of the medicine for missiles and other diseases, and the books on medicines, and new inventions in science and mathematics has also happened, and the spread of knowledge built by the medieval Arab and Persia, they started passing that to the other part of the world. The another important information here is Islam influenced the art and the architecture. So I told you in the earlier explanation that the Christianity have their different architecture. Christians have the different architecture. Here the Islamic people, they have their own style of art and architecture. The features of the Islamic architecture can be seen in the buildings built in the Roman, Byzantine and the Persian empires. Again here, like another religion of Christianity, here also they have the different sects, that is the different subcaste of Islam, that is Shia and Sunni. There is a two subcaste of Muslim Islam, that is Shia and Sunni. The successors of Muhammad Paigambar are called as Khalifs, who are the followers of Muhammad Paigambar and who spreaded the Islam across the world. Abu Bakr was the first Khalif. So here is the extra information about it. So that's all about your Christianity and Islam, kids. So here we studied about the two important religion, that is Christianity and Islam. So I want you to give you some home task, that is I want you to write like in the last homework I saw that you have most of you have submitted your homework. Thank you so much for it, and I really thank you for your efforts. And in this class I want you to write the early life of Paigambar and the teachings of Islam and the preachings the rituals of Islam and the two subcaste of Islam. Here is the 4 question. One is the early life of Muhammad Paigambar. The second question is what are the preachings or teachings of Islam. Third question is what are the rituals of Islam. The fourth question is what are the two subcaste of Islam. Okay, so I want you to submit the same homework in your Google Classroom app. Submit your homework through Google Classroom app. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay in home and keep learning, students. Thank you.